What is going on, guys? I'm supcharls, and I'm talking about the Paris Games Week with Sony and basically the media showcase that they now had on Monday, and talk about the games that I thought was interesting and worth mentioning on this commentary at least. So with that said, I might as well just start off with that. So first of all, this was a huge step up from the E3 press conference that they had. Not because it was a bad conference in terms of games they showed, but in terms of the lack of games they showed. All of those things was what I was really disappointed with. So basically, they really stepped it up this time around. I actually think they announced more games during their pre-show than they did at E3 this year. But the first game that I saw that caught my eye was a PlayStation VR game called Sprint Vector, and I don't really know how it is gonna turn out to be for me, but I really have an interest in that game because it actually looked pretty fun to play in VR and all those things. But I do wonder with the graphics and all, because PlayStation VR headset, when you play games on it, it's not really the best images you get. So in terms of quality, I don't know, but it still looks really fun, and also I might keep an eye out on that, and hopefully it will turn out to be a great game, and hopefully I won't get motion sick by it, because I know Farpoint, for example, did make me motion sick with using the aim controller's thumbstick to move around with. I don't know why, but for some reason I couldn't take it. So hopefully I won't get motion sick whenever I now try this game out someday. Next up is also an indie game called Ore, which I don't even know how you pronounce to begin with, but I hope I pronounced it right. That game actually really looked interesting to me, at least. It is a pretty chilled game, so maybe I should try it out, I don't know. But it definitely looks interesting in terms of art style as well with this game, so I might have to try it out someday, but it would be nice if PlayStation Plus offered it someday. And then the real show started, which they started off with Sucker Punch, new IP called Ghost of Tsushima, and that game isn't really a game that I expected them to make, because I'd hoped the infamous game would come again, or maybe return to Sly Cooper, because they are obviously the creators of it, so I wouldn't mind seeing them return back to the Sly Cooper franchise and maybe develop the Sly 5 game that I really want to see someday, because Sly 4 actually ended pretty open, so I would love to see a continuation someday. And I don't really know if Sansaro Games will continue it anytime soon, so hopefully there's gonna be something about Sly again. But Ghost of Tsushima actually really looked interesting, and that is mainly from the story point of view, because I don't really know in terms of gameplay, because they only showed a trailer and there were no gameplay in that. So it looks interesting so far. I hope it will be good gameplay wise, but at the same time I'm not really sure how much I would play those kinds of games, so I'll keep an eye on it, but I know for sure that I'm interested in the story. Next up is also Blood and Truth, a PlayStation VR title, and it's basically from London Studios, I think it was called, who are the creators of PlayStation VR Worlds, and that is basically a bunch of PlayStation VR demos combined in one game, I guess you could say. And it started from London Heist, and then they tried to make it into a full game in some ways, I guess, and that is awesome because I really enjoyed London Heist in the PlayStation VR Worlds, so I'd hope for that to happen, and I definitely will try this out. Hopefully it won't get me motion sick as well with the controls, because I don't really know how you move around and stuff, but it certainly looks awesome so far, and I really love the shootings and all those things in the London Heist demo, so this will probably be a really fun experience as well to try out on the PlayStation VR headset someday when it comes out, so I'm looking forward for that. And next up is also a quick trailer from Far Cry 5 with some co-op action, and I don't really know what to say there. I mean, Far Cry 4 had co-op, and I assume Far Cry 3 also had it, so I don't know if it really needed a trailer for that, but I still have an interest in Far Cry, or getting into Far Cry 5, and maybe try that game out as my first Far Cry game, because I've never tried it out before. So I will keep my eyes on that game and see how it's gonna perform when it comes out here in the start of the next year. So that was Far Cry 5. Next up, they also showed some Destiny 2, which I thought was interesting, because I've considered to get Destiny 2 for a while, but at the same time we just want to wait for all the expansions to release, so that they will announce a collection just like Destiny 1 and then see it on sale, and by that time I would buy it. But so far that trailer really got me interested in Destiny 2 even more, because I really enjoyed that trailer for some reason, I don't know why, but it definitely got my interest, that expansion that is gonna come soon for the game. And then there's also Call of Duty World War II with the Carrington map, which is a season pass only map, I believe it was, and they showed a trailer for that, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've never really played Call of Duty 2, so I don't really know the map design overall. I believe it actually also was introduced in COD 4 as Chinatown, if I remember correctly, and that is another map that I've never really tried out that much. I mean, I did try it once on PC, but I don't have enough experience to really say much about it. So basically, they showed a trailer for World War II having Carrington announced, and it actually got me really excited for Call of Duty World War II, and I cannot wait to play it here in a bit, as I'm recording this at least. And next up is Star Wars Battlefront 2, which they showed a launch trailer for, and the trailer really got me interested in the story as well. I've already been interested in it and all, but when I saw that trailer I was really pumped want to see and figure out what the trailer was about and stuff. So I look forward to it nonetheless, and I will wait down the line to pick it up because I don't really feel like it's worth the $60 launch price that it now has. Spider-Man was also showed, had a trailer as well. I'm really interested to pre-order it, and this trailer actually did make me think I might as well just do it. I just need to see a release date first, and I would assume some sort of pre-order bonus would also be announced, but I don't know. Would be nice if they announced a Ratchet & Clank emulation of the PS2 classics and then put that in as a pre-order bonus. That would be awesome, just like they did with Uncharted The Lost Legacy, where you would get Jak 1 for free. So hopefully Sony next year will do something like that and release the rest of the Jak games that they now have announced so far, because I would really like to play Jak X right now, but they haven't announced anything. But nonetheless, I look forward to Spider-Man, and I wouldn't mind pre-ordering it and all those things just to support Insomniac Games, because I do love their games in general. Then there's also a Detroit Become Human trailer of some sort with Kara again, finally being shown again, because I was really thinking about when they would show her up again on a reveal of some sort, because at E3 they didn't show it, and I believe at PlayStation Experience, or was it Paris Games Week last year, they didn't, or 2 years ago, I don't even remember now, but they basically haven't shown anything since they revealed the game of it with Kara. So it was nice to see her again, because I believe she was the main reason the game was made. So definitely glad to see that she's finally being showed up again and to see what her story, or some of it, is. Then they also showed a really quick God of War gameplay of some sort, or a sneak peek, or whatever you can call it, and it looked interesting. I guess I don't really know what to say about it because it was so short, but I really had some interest in pre-ordering that God of War game someday, or maybe even buy it down the road, because I have never really owned a God of War game before. So hopefully the gameplay will appeal to me whenever I now try it out, because it is a different kind of tone from the original God of War game, since it isn't even the same mythology or whatever you call it. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was also getting a trailer for the Frozen Wild DLC, which is coming out really soon as well. Can't wait to try that out and see what this new story will be about. And from that trailer I actually really thought that they would add in a feature where you could actually hack into a glint hawk or something like that and use it to fly around with. That would be so awesome if you could do that. I would love to fly around in the Horizon Zero Dawn world. I really believe that would be amazing to look at the beautiful landscapes and all those things from a higher ground than just walking around all the time. But it is what it is. And then last but not least, they finished their media showcase with a The Last of Us 2 trailer, and it was pretty brutal. I actually didn't even know it was The Last of Us Part 2 when I saw it. I did know somewhat that it was gonna be The Last of Us Part 2 when Jim Ryan talked about this being an exclusive title and all those things, and I know that they usually end their conferences or whatever off with a Naughty Dog game if they can. So to me, I expected The Last of Us Part 2, but then when I saw the characters and stuff, I was really confused. But then at the end, those clickers came around, and then I knew it was The Last of Us Part 2 again. So pretty nice to see that it is actually being able to get some false expectations up, I guess, in some ways, because I remember last year at PSX as well with Uncharted The Lost Legacy, when they showed that, I wasn't even sure it was Uncharted, because I thought Nathan Drake was going to be the playable character in the game's story. So I was pretty surprised with Chloe being the one. But yeah, this year's trailer was pretty good nonetheless. I really look forward to the story and cannot wait to see it, even though I see some medias complain about it being too violent and all, with The Last of Us Part 2 being shown at that media showcase, and also Detroit Become Human, which is a bit weird to me because I thought it was pretty good. But nonetheless, great media showcase. I really wish this was the E3 press conference. I don't even get why they couldn't have shown at least half of these games at the E3 press conference and just added a bit more there, because they really stepped up compared to the E3 press conference. And I do kind of wonder what will happen at the PlayStation Experience conference now, because they showcased a lot of things at this Paris Games Week media showcase. So I wonder what will be shown at the PlayStation Experience, which is going to be something new. And basically, it was a great media showcase. I really enjoyed it, and those were the games that I thought was the most interesting one. So with that said, I really want to get into Call of Duty World War II now, so I might as well end this commentary since I've talked about all the games that I thought was interesting at their showcase. So I might as well also mention I will be playing a lot of Call of Duty World War II here for this upcoming time, because of it being a new Call of Duty game and all. So expect maybe not seeing me playing much else than that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you guys on my next one.